Before we get into today's edition of Just the Truth, Mike Lindell sent me a note yesterday. He has a special for the 6-piece towel set, $25 when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com, use promo code Joey. You'll get the $25 offer on the 6-piece towel set, and I promise you, these will be the most comfortable, the most absorbent towels that you own. mypillow.com, use promo code Joey, get the 6-piece towel set for just $25. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com.
I told you we'd be back.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
It's Joey Hudson.
I wanted to name it the Joey Hudson Bill, but, they don't allow you to put names on bills. But I wanted to call it the Joey Hudson Bill because I know that one's been near and dear to you for a number of years.
That's how it's done. Let your voice be heard.
And the truth shall set you free.
Here's Joey Hudson.
On my final day on the Alaska Patriots Cruise, now welcome in. If you haven't joined me earlier this week, then you won't know that Mike Gallagher, Sebastian, Gorka, we have been on a cruise, on an Alaskan cruise all week. We left Seattle last Saturday, headed back in. This is our last stop today with 400 enthusiastic Patriots we've had a great time this week. Throughout the week, Dr. Gorka, Mike Gallagher, we have been having town hall style meetings. I've moderated some. Mike and I had one earlier in the week where we told our listeners about our tremendous experience visiting Israel back in late February, early March. It's just been a fun week. I hate to see it come to a close. Thank you for still checking in with me each day. I've tried to kind of keep you up to date on where we are. If you're not following me on Facebook and X and Instagram and YouTube, please do so. I've posted a lot of photos, videos, and various things to kind of offer you a glimpse of my journey. So I hope that you will go to my Facebook page, follow me, go to YouTube, subscribe, check me out on X and Instagram. We've had some fun stuff there. Yesterday, we were in Sitka. If you missed yesterday, I gave you a little history of that. Go back and listen to yesterday's episode. Today, we're in Ketchikan, Alaska. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Ketchikan. It was Alaska's first city, named because it's the first major landfall for most cruisers as they enter this, very picturesque ford of inside passage where the town literally clings to the banks of the Tongass Narrows. Ketchikan has long been an important hub of the salmon fishing and packing industries, which a lot of these areas, of course, as you can imagine, are heavy in the fishing industry. Visitors can try their luck at sport fishing or just do like I did and check out one of the local fresh seafood places. They have some great restaurants. We've had some good food this week. Ketchikan also is one of the best spots along the Inside Passage to explore the rich cultural sites of Native Alaskan nations like the Tlingit, the Haida, the Tsimshians, yes. Easy for you to say. You can see intricately carved totem poles at the Totem Heritage Center, Totem Bright State Park, while there's attractions in the Saxman Village, which is just outside of the Ketchikan. All these cities are small. They're villages. But working carvers and various cultural shows, it's just been tremendous. And speaking of all that good salmon and all, boy, has the food been wonderful on this cruise, both on the ship and off the ship. And I am so glad I checked in with Dr. Ashley Lucas with PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition before starting this journey, as I have heard her whispering in my head of how to go on a cruise and not gain weight. And I hope that I've accomplished that. As you probably know, 4 years ago now, I started my journey with PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition. I lost 30 pounds pretty quickly. I've been able to maintain that weight. It goes up and down a little bit, but pretty much maintain that weight for 4 years now. I feel better. What an exhilarating feeling it is to get that excess weight off. If you're to that point, if you're ready to get healthy, then let me encourage you to go to myphdweightloss.com, set up that first consultation. You can call them as well, 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, or myphdweightloss.com. I've gone into my archives, as you probably figured out this week for some of my favorite recent interviews, and I've been sharing those with you. Hope you have found them interesting this week. Coming up in September, we'll celebrate Law Enforcement Appreciation Day in Greenville, where over 600 officers will be served breakfast and be given T-shirts and goodie bags with gift cards and some pretty good prizes like hunting rifles and some large flat-screen TVs, grills, and just all kind of prizes made possible by the local business community and other individuals who've contributed. This is a day set aside to show law enforcement that they are appreciated, that we thank them for getting up in the morning, putting on their uniform, and making sure that we're safe. Billy Crank is a local businessman who loves law enforcement. He's played a big role in making this successful. And before we get to Billy, let me talk with you about that refrigerator that wasn't working when you woke up this morning. If you need to replace a broken appliances, or maybe you're ready to upgrade your entire kitchen, let me encourage you to make the short drive over to Pickens to Discounted Appliance Warehouse. They have over 1,500 appliances in stock at any given time, which means you can quite often buy today and use today. They're the only the Discounted Appliance Warehouse. They're proud to offer Speed Queen, the only washer and dryers with manufacturer's warranties that cover parts and labor for up to 7 years. And boy, will they treat you like family. Find them online at dawpickens.com, dawpickens.com. And now my conversation with Billy Crank. Continuing today's show, if you happen to be driving down South Pleasantburg on Friday, September the 20th of this year, you may see a long line of law enforcement vehicles backed up, as that is Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. And this is a time when a group of local business and community leaders come together to show the men and women in blue just how important they are to our community. On our guest line today, Billy Crank, one of the folks that's responsible for making this all happen, is joining us. Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm just fine, Joey. Thank you. I hope you're well.
Billy, I'm doing well also. Thanks for asking. So let's talk a little bit about Lead Upstate and Law Enforcement Appreciation Day and how this all came about. Take us back from the very beginning, Billy, and how this got started.
10 years ago, and we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, Seabrook Marchant and a friend or so were at Tommy's Ham House having breakfast. And there were several law enforcement officers in there, and he offered to buy their breakfast, which he did. They accepted, and they were very grateful. And as word spread of that, more officers came and more of Seabrook's friends came, and it developed into something that really outgrew Tommy's. It went on to the Weston Poinsett, and I think was there for a year or two, and then the plague hit, and we had to find something else to do. So we were able to go to the Greenville Convention Center and go from an inside sit-down meal, which took a good bit of time away from the officers' day, whether they were coming on shift or off shift, and they were able to drive by, and they were served a breakfast. They were served coffee and water and a Chick-fil-A meal and some sort of a goodie, a cookie or a bundt cake. They got a T-shirt. They got a Valor bag, which was a goodie bag that had about $150 worth of goodies in it, coupons and items and what have you, and a challenge coin. During that preceding week, we drew names from those that were registered. And if they had not picked up the prize that they won during the drawings that week, they could pick them up that morning. So we've gone from it being very small to a number that we're looking at this year of probably 650 law enforcement officials from all over Greenville County representing all of the agencies. And that includes SLED and DEA and the feds that are here also. So it has grown quite substantially over 10 years.
Yeah. And Billy, I got to tell you, I've had the privilege and the honor of being part of this over the past few years, and to be there early morning and to see those cars start lining up before you start at 6 a.m. at the downtown Greenville airport is quite a sight, isn't it? It's just to see them lined up, ready to come through, to pick up their breakfast, to pick up the Valor bag and some of the things that community leaders have made possible for them. I got to tell you, it just makes cold chills run down my back to think about it.
Well, it's all inspiring, and I think that as the event has grown and the word has spread with the officers, I think that there's a degree of excitement. They appreciate our visible signs of appreciation for them.
Yep.
And quite honestly, Joey, I think that although in the overall scope of things, this may be small, I think this helps with retention because it's a visible sign of the community appreciating their jobs. You know, when they leave in the morning, they don't know whether they're coming home at night.
Yeah.
So it's a tenuous position, and I think it helps with retention, and I think it also helps with recruitment. When a potential officer talks with other existing officers that are already on the force, to hear the community appreciation from a peer, I think it helps with recruitment also.
Yeah. Billy, a few weeks ago, and on our guest line today, Billy Crank, we're talking about Lead Upstate Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, which will be coming up September 20th. This is the 10-year anniversary of this event. If you'd like additional information, go to leadupstate.com. There's a nice donate button on there. If you'd like to support this, you can click on donate and help out. There's still sponsorship opportunities as well, because this does take a community effort to make this happen. In the news conference that Lead Upstate had the other week, which I was part of, we had some canine units there. And I got to tell you, I'm a dog lover. Jesse and Coco are our two Cocker Spaniels. And I just wish they were as well behaved as those canine units. And unfortunately, they'd have been bouncing off the walls. And we had 6 different canine officers there, and they just sat there like they knew everything that was going on in their place to be. But it was really special to see them. And unfortunately, we've in the past few weeks, we've had 2 canine officers in South Carolina killed in the line of duty. One shot and one just recently hit by a car while pursuing a suspect. But I did a quick little video, and I know you were there, Billy, and you met Deuce. I did a quick little video of Deuce while he was sitting there with his handler being interviewed, and I'm looking at my Facebook page now. It's been watched 8,500 times.
That's great.
People love the canine units, and they're a very important part of law enforcement because they do so many things. They do things that humans cannot do, and this is just one of those things that Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, because we show our appreciation to the handler for what they do.
Absolutely, and they are an important part. And I think as Lead Upstate has grown, we are recognizing the importance of the canines, and we have increased our sponsorship from 2 to 3 sponsors in order to raise additional funding to be able to help more canine programs throughout the county.
Yeah.
Not all of the expenses necessary for maintaining a canine and all of the stuff that they need, not all of that is met with in the normal budget. So we contribute towards that, and it's been very rewarding. And one more that you might mention, that we've lost 2 to being killed in action, the Greenville County Sheriff's Office had another that was stabbed in the line of duty, and I was hoping that he could be there at the press conference, but he is still rehabbing, and he will get back to work.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I happened to see Sheriff Lewis soon after that happened, and I think his name was Mickey.
Yes.
Yeah, and I happened to see the sheriff, and we're talking about that, and Sheriff Lewis said, I don't know that I've ever seen the outpouring of support as we've seen as a result of Mickey being stabbed and injured in the line of duty. Again, people's hearts, they just, we all appreciate our human police officers and deputies, but we think about our pets and the selflessness of a dog like that and what they do, because they just know what they're trained to do, and they don't have they're not fearful like we are. They just want to get the job done.
Yep, and they do. They're told to do it, and they do it without question, and that's remarkable.
Yes,
their training is remarkable, and the outcomes show that. So,
yep. On our guest line today, Billy Crank with Lead Upstate. Billy, you mentioned earlier, and as we were talking about, of course, on September the 20th, law enforcement officers will be invited to come down to the airport, drive through, and they never really have to stop. We hand them breakfast and the Valor Bag and the various gifts and prizes and all. You mentioned some of those because that really is a week-long event as far as the prizes go. Talk with us about some of those prizes and who donates those.
Well, thank you. We do draw each day of the week leading up to the Friday celebration, which this year, as you said, will be the 20th. For the most part, we purchase most of the gifts. Now, I don't want to be short-sighted. There are those that donate gifts, but the bigger items we end up purchasing. And we're talking about big screen TVs. We're talking about leather recliners. We're talking about grills. We're talking about nice shotguns. We're talking about things that we think that the law enforcement officers would appreciate.
Right.
And gosh, we've pretty much hit home runs every year with the items that we have selected and have awarded as gifts.
Yep. Well, and maybe I used the wrong terminology there, because I do know that a lot of the bigger ticket items we purchase, but we're able to purchase those because of sponsors like CPI Security and Spinks and Windsor Alltree. There's a whole list of United Community Bank of Traverse Rest, Greenville Tech, Steve White Auto Group, I'm just reading some of these great local businesses, Pepsi of Greenville, Meritus Signature Homes. These are all sponsors who make this possible.
They are, and we are so grateful. Many of those have been with us for years, and we are so grateful to have them recognize the value of this sponsorship and to be able to show that they're standing with us to make this visible appreciation. I was thinking this week, and these businesses that you just named, they've stepped up, and I've wondered to myself, I'm a donor. I was smitten the first year that I did it, but I wondered to myself, are we as a community doing everything that we could to show our appreciation? And so with that said, I'll just step out and say, are you doing everything you can? And it doesn't have to be a lot, but please step up and join us and donate whatever you feel that you can to help us continue to show the appreciation and love that we have for our law enforcement.
Yeah, because there are a lot of, the names that I just read off are some of our major sponsors. But it takes a lot of, maybe you own a restaurant and you can donate some gift cards to your restaurant, or or maybe you'll just buy some gift cards. There's plenty of opportunities at all levels, and you can simply do that by going to leadupstate.com. Click on the donate button. There's also a way to contact us if you have other ideas, because it's not too late to get involved in our Law Enforcement Appreciation Day coming up in September. We still need you, and you can still show your support of law enforcement here in the upstate. Leadupstate.com. Leadupstate.com is how you do that. Because that's the other part of it. You talked about some of the big ticket items, the TVs and the shotguns, but we also give away in those Valor bags gift certificates for a meal.
Sure. And in past years, there have been Yeti mugs, and there have been law enforcement Bibles and hand warmers and snacks, and just a number of things in there that are of value to an active law enforcement officer.
Yep. So nothing is too small. Anything that you can give that we can show these men and women in blue is very much appreciated. Leadupstate.com is how you do that. Billy, one last thing. We have about a minute left here. If someone is listening and they would like to help, there's also volunteer opportunities as well.
Yes, sir, there are, and they can contact us through leadupstate.com, and I think there's a button there for them to click that if they have a question or if they are interested in volunteering, it's there and they can respond to that.
Yep. Billy Crank, it's always a pleasure. Thank you and Seabrook Marchant and the whole team for what you do to make this possible, and I just look forward to September 20th.
Absolutely. Me too. Thank you, Joey.
Sure thing. Always a pleasure. Hope you'll join the conversation today. 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Send your comments to the Firmin Ford text line. You can leave a quick voice message, and your emails are always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Speaking of the Firmin Ford text line, it's never been more important to support locally run businesses owned by people who actually live here in the upstate. Let me take a minute to talk with you about our friends at Firmin Ford. If you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe a great pre-owned vehicle, one you could trust, or maybe you're looking to order that special vehicle. Either way, if you want a new one, a brand new one, or a pre-owned that you can trust, the folks at Firmin Ford, they're there to help you. Their name is on the sign because their name is on the line, because every single transaction is important to them. Jim Firmin, Matthew Firmin. They do business the right way. When you stop by, when you give them a call, or maybe when you just send them a quick email, you're always going to have access to a member of the Firmin Ford family. And by the way, they also offer great service, and you're not going to have to wait weeks and weeks to get it done. And you do not have had to purchase your vehicle at Firmin Ford. Doesn't even have to be a Ford. They service all makes and models. Visit my friends at Firmin Ford online at firminford.com, firminford.com. That's it for today's edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined our mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Just click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, find me on YouTube. Be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on my YouTube channel. Just search for Joey Hudson. Appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me. Be sure and forward this edition of Just the Truth to some friends. Just click on the share button. Send it to a few of your contacts, because if we're going to build our community and if we're going to win in November, we got to build an army of conservatives. The way we beat Joe Biden is through educating people, and no better way than encouraging them to listen to Just the Truth. Hey, keep those comments coming via the Firmin Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Your emails always welcome as well. Joey@joeyhudson.com. Don't forget to take advantage of the MyPillow special, $25 for the My Towels 6-piece towel set when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com. Always use promo code Joey. We're back again tomorrow. Hope you will be too. Remember, God's got this. He's still in control.